everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Fearless Friday with Coach Sammy Love. I pray you guys have had an amazing week. I couldn't get it out. I pray you guys have had an amazing week. I'm just so excited to come before you guys on this Friday. Like always, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go and subscribe to my channel. And also, I want to encourage you guys to like my channel. If you are watching my videos and they are blessing your life, or watching my reels and they are blessing your life, do not be afraid to hit the like button. I just now understand that when you get a lot of likes, it pushes your video out to more people. So hey, help me get my videos out to more people. So don't hesitate to hit the like button when you find the material I come with, my nuggets, my encouraging words, my empowering words. When I come and I just bless your life, just do me a favor, go and hit the like button. So once again, I'm excited. This is Fearless Friday. Also, oh my goodness, tomorrow will be the fourth Saturday. So you know what that means. Every fourth Saturday, I come with What's the Coffee with Morning Moments with God. Yes, I am still walking through the book of Psalms. So don't forget to join me tomorrow. I usually go live between 8 and 9. So I would suggest you just set your alerts because I really have not honed in at an exact time. So set your alerts. Yes, set your alerts so you do not miss when I go live. So I'm just excited to even just jump into this topic this week. Last week, the topic was hot. The topic was on fire, but I knew that it was going to be that way. And I even had someone tell me thank you. Like really, they experienced some healing from just the topic that I came with last night, talking about toxic friendships and toxic relationships. Hey, Maya. And so that's my goal. Anytime I come before you guys, is to just bless your life, to encourage you, to empower you. And yeah, so that's anytime I bring a word. Maya, I want to encourage you to go hit that like button. Go hit the like button. I need everybody that come in here. Hit the like button. Share my channel. Tag some people. Do whatever you need to do so that Sammy can get out and so other people can be able to see my content. So I just, like I said, thank you, Maya. I just love when I get to do these topics. I get to come before people because I love building people up. I love to build people. I love to pour into people. And, you know, it doesn't cost anything to pour into people, just to speak life to people so that they may walk in what God has called them to walk in. So I'm just excited even about this topic on today. And anybody knows that anytime I come, I'm very transparent. I have never been not transparent about my life because I truly believe my testimony and the things I have been through will be able to help somebody else. So I'm not ashamed of what I've been through. I'm not ashamed of what I did. I'm not ashamed of those things. I share as God leads me to share with whomever I share it with. So therefore, either they can get free from it or they can realize that they weren't the only ones, because sometimes the devil is very crafty, you guys. He make you think you're the only one that been through that. He make you think that you're the only one that have done that. And so for me, I just love to share with people like, hey, here, I've been there, but I'm here now. And I always want people to know that you can be free and you don't have to stay in that condition. You don't have to stay that way. Why? Because I was once that person. I was once that person that was in that condition. But because of the saving grace of God and because of me surrendering my life to Him and allowing Him to be my Lord and my God, my life has changed significantly. I don't take any credit. It was nobody but the blood of Jesus. It was nobody but Jesus, my Heavenly Father, who has changed my life. But now I'm able to come back and give back to others and share and show my wounds, right? I'm able to show my scars. I'm not even gonna call them wounds. I'm able to show my scars and tell you the story behind the scars. I love to say this. This is one of my favorite sayings, you guys. I always tell people this. I said, you know what I love about God? God is the God that the scar will remain, but He takes the pain away. And how I like to describe that, to give you a picture to understand what I mean when I say that, Like you may say you may have a scar or something on your arm, your leg from when you were a kid, right? Because let's say a lot of us got scars on our knees from when we used to ride bikes when we was a kid, or something happened, scar on by our face. It happened as a kid. So as an adult, you still have the scar, but it doesn't hurt, right? So when somebody asks you, hey, I see a scar, by your ear, what happened? And you'll tell them a story. Oh, when I was a kid, this happened, yada, yada, yada. I remember it hurt so bad, but now, it don't hurt now. Why? Because it's been 30 years. So it don't hurt, but you can still see the scar. That's how our God works. Oh my goodness. He leaves the scar, but takes the pain. So that's what our testimonies is. My testimony is the scar, but it no longer has no pain. And that's how I'm able to share with other people, because it don't hurt no more. There are things that I have been through that God has not released me to share. Why? Because it's still sensitive to the touch. That's how I talk about it. It's sensitive to the touch. So it's that the scar is healing still. It's still going through healing. So I haven't talked about it because it's still going through healing. But that's what I love about our God, that he'll leave the scar and you got a story, but it don't hurt no more. See, that's the glory of God. That's your testimony, is that, yes, I have a scar, and yes, you can see it, but it don't hurt no more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When you come in, make sure you hear the like button. Make sure you hear the like button so we can get this out. But that's what I love about God, right? He takes the pain away. I still got the scar, but my scar does not have no pain. I remember somebody said this one time. They say, you might see me crying, but my tears don't have sorrow. Oh my goodness. So I'm crying, but my tears are not tears of sorrow. Oh my goodness. Woo, okay, now we got to get ready to get into what I want to talk about on today, because that's not it, but I just wanted to share that so people know when they come on my channel, this is what you get. You get transparency. You get me just sharing, me pouring, and just, being who I am and being who God has called me to be. But I brought that up because today I'm talking about pushing the survival mode, saying no to just surviving. That's what I want to talk about, because some of us is in a survival mode, and we've been in that mode for years. We are not living, we're just surviving. Oh my goodness. And I used to be that woman. Before I gave my life to Christ, you guys, I was just a woman that was surviving. And since I was surviving, y'all, let me tell you, when I was just surviving, I was surviving as a single mother. So as a single mother, I was just surviving. I didn't have a relationship with God. I was just going day to day. I was thinking about bills. I was thinking about kids. I was just thinking about just surviving. And I remember I like a person would ask me, like, what's your favorite color? I didn't know. What's your favorite food? I didn't know. Because I was so busy surviving, those things didn't matter to me. Those things were not a priority for me. Those things were not on my to-do list. I never went on no vacations. I never went anywhere. Really, I mean, I might went to Vegas, but that's about it. But I mean, really living life, I didn't. Why? Because I was trying to survive. And I remember when I gave my life to Christ, you guys, this is a story moment. When I gave my life to Christ, then I began to realize what I love. What was my passion? What's my favorite food? What's the colors I like? Do you know I never had a favorite color? And to you might be like, oh, that's not nothing. But it is. I never had a favorite color. Why? Because I was so busy trying to survive that those things were not on my list. I didn't have a favorite color, a favorite food, none of that. So when I came to Christ, now I'm like, oh, I like earth tones. And I think peace is my favorite, but I love salad. And now this and that. And now it's like because now I didn't have to just survive. Whew. I remember when I gave my life to Christ, y'all, and I remember saying this, I am so glad now I can lean on somebody else and I don't have to worry about nothing. Because I was carrying the load as a single mother, and everything I was carrying, I didn't have time for nothing else. But when I gave my life to Christ, y'all, It was like, now I can relax. Ha! Now I can relax. I didn't have to worry about anything no longer. I can just relax. And I felt the weight of the world lifted off of me. I remember for weeks, it felt like, you guys, like I was walking on clouds because I felt the weight. I didn't know how heavy I was. I didn't know until I gave my life to Christ and I began to feel lighter. And then I realized all that stuff I was carrying, God just took it off of me. And now I got to relax in Him. So I went from surviving to thriving to living. So now I live. Ooh, I live. I enjoy life. Now I can tell you what the mountains look like. Now I could sit and watch the birds. I wasn't doing none of that. I remember when I got saved and then I looked up at the mountains. I was like, wow, the mountains is beautiful. I never noticed the mountains. I knew they were there. But because I was in survival mode, I never stopped to take in my surroundings, the beauty of it all. I couldn't see the beauty of it all until I gave my life to Christ. Oh my goodness. I'm going somewhere, y'all. I'm going somewhere, y'all, because I'm sharing a story with you guys how I used to be in survival mode for years. Years. I'm talking about probably about 12, 13 years. Survival mode. Just going, just thinking about the day. So what do I mean when I say survival mode? Survival mode is living in a state of constant stress and heightened alertness, where the focus is on getting through the daily challenges rather than thriving or enjoying life. Oh my goodness. And your choices are based on short-term relief. You make choices that are only short-term, they're not long-term, because you're only thinking about today. You're in panic about today. So you're so busy and stressed about today that's why I said I never had a favorite color. I never had this. I never had that. Why? Because I was so caught up in today, surviving today. I'm surviving today. I can't think about tomorrow. I can't think about next week. And so what happens is you spend your time just surviving. You're in survival mode. Your choices, the decisions you make are short term. You're not thinking long term. You're just making decisions for right now. And that's why some of us have made permanent decisions in a temporary place. It was a temporary place, but we made permanent decisions. And to this day, we're still looking at those decisions. We're looking at the results. Let me say it that way. We're looking at the results of our decision, because we made a permanent decision when we was in a temporary season. I want to encourage you on today. Do not allow a temporary season to make you make a permanent decision. Take that in. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it for those in the back. Don't allow a temporary season, situation, whatever you want to call it, to cause you to make a permanent decision, because you will still have to deal with the results of your permanent decision, even when the season change. See, because it's temporary, that means it's not going to always be that way. But your permanent decision that you make will be what you have to live with, even when the season changes. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's a word. Yes. So survival mode, you're just thinking about the daily things, the daily challenges. You're caught up in that. You can't see nothing else. You don't see nothing else clear. That's why I said certain things I didn't see. Why? Because I was focused on surviving. When you trying to survive, you ain't got time for all that other stuff. You ain't got time to enjoy life. You ain't got time to play around. You are survival mode. But let me tell you, the God that I serve and the God that you serve, He doesn't want you to be on survival mode. That's why He says that He gives you rest. That's why He says that His yoke is easy and His burden is light. That's why He says, cast your cares upon me because I care for you. That's why He says that, because He don't want you in survival mode. He wants you in trust mode. Oh yeah, tag that. Tag that. God doesn't want you in survival mode. He wants you in trust mode. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna tag that myself. Oh yes, I'm about to tag that myself. Y'all, I got to put that in the chats. I'm doing it right now. Yes. If I could type right. Okay, y'all, here I go. Survival mode. Woo, Jesus. He wants you in trust mode. Ooh, Lord. That's it right there. That is it. That is it. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. God doesn't want you in survival mode. He wants you in trust mode. And so what you have to do, if there are things you have to do, because you're going to have to shift your mind. I had to learn to shift my mind. Why? Because for so long, I was in that survival mode that I didn't know how to just thrive. I didn't know how to enjoy life. I had to make myself, oh my goodness, I had to make myself enjoy life because I was so busy being in survival mode that I did not know how to enjoy life. I'm just now, y'all, going on certain type of trips and getting on a plane. I had to, and even that sometimes is a fight and warfare for me. And you might say, why? Because it comes to a fight anytime I try to do something for myself. Why? Because I was so long in survival mode that anytime it's time to step out and do something for myself, I start to just, I have to press myself. But I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it until it becomes normal for me. See, it be just the little things, y'all, because I know I'm helping somebody on today. So I said, I'm going to give you 5 tips of how to get out of that survival mode. It's time to shift, because why are we in God but still in survival mode? No. God says, I come to give you rest. I come to give you peace. I come to give you life. Just surviving is not life. He said, I come to give you life and life abundantly. That's in him. Surviving, just surviving, it's not the life that God came to get you. Jesus didn't go to the cross, oh my goodness, just for you to survive. He went to that cross so that you may thrive and that you may enjoy life. His word said that he came to give you life and life abundantly. He didn't come so you could just survive. He came that you may enjoy this life and that you may thrive. What is thriving? Thriving, when I think of thriving, I think of growing. I think of change. I think of growth. I think of all these different things. When something is thriving, it's living. Woo. When you're surviving, you're not living. When you're just surviving, when you're just in survival mode, you are not living. Jesus came that you may live. Oh my goodness. What does it look like to live? That's the question. What does it look like to live, Coach Sammy? What does it look like? Because I've been in survival mode for so long. Coach Sammy, what does it look like to live? Number 1, you got to recognize that you are in survival mode. You got to recognize it. This ain't of God. I'm in panic mode. I'm not trusting God. I'm worried about today. I'm just thinking about today. I'm just making short-term decisions for short-term relief. And I'm just doing this and doing that. And I'm just out here just doing stuff without God. You got to recognize this ain't of God. Then you got to determine, I put this with that one. So this is still number 1. Determine who you are. You need to do self-discovery. That's why I said I was in the survival mode until I gave my life to Christ. Why? What happened? Because when I gave my life to Christ, he began to reveal who I was, who I am, what I'm called to do. Now that's why I was able to see the colors and the food and recognize different things. Why? Because now he gave me my identity. And once I knew who I was in him, now I began to see all these things coming out of me that I didn't know that was in me. It's called self-discovery. Now I began like, wow, I remember I used to say, man, I'm much more than I thought. I thought I was nothing. But every time I turn around, God is bringing things out of me that I didn't know that was in me, things for me to do, things for me to create. I'm walking in spaces I never thought was never on my mind. Why? Because I was surviving. But now God is working me. The real me. Oh my goodness. Yes. Number 2, self-care. I am strong on self-care. And sometimes with self-care, we can seem like we've been selfish because we're so busy, always have done for other people. That's why I said I was a single mother. I was on survival mode. I had to do what I had to do for the kids. So sometimes you can feel guilty now because now you need some me time. You need a me day. You need to take care of you. You need to take care of your mental health. You need a day to unwind and get your thoughts together, especially if you're so busy doing things for other people. You're so busy doing things for other people that sometimes you can feel guilty when it comes to doing things for yourself. I have experienced it. That's why I said just to go on a trip, I had to literally push myself because I kept wanting to bag out. Why? Because anytime it comes to me, there is a hesitation. And that is something that I had to break this year. I had to break that. I was like, this got to be of the enemy. Anytime it's something for me, I always bag out. I shared this story before. I used to go in the store, and anytime I was going in the store to buy clothes or something for me, my stomach would start to hurt or anything for me. And I would leave the store because my stomach would hurt real, real bad. But I noticed when I was shopping for other people, my stomach didn't hurt. So I shared that with somebody one day. But this was for years this happened to me. Even when I got saved, it was happening to me. I'll go in the store and my stomach would start feeling like just real bad, like bubble guts, and I would leave. And somebody told me that. They said, that's anxiety. And I said, what? They said, you need to pray about that. That's anxiety. And I'm like, why do I get anxiety when I go to do things for me and I back out of it? But with somebody else, I'll do it. I'll go spend everything on you. But when it came to me, I get anxiety. What is that? And I just figured it out this year, you guys. I just figured it out this year. I went to plan a trip to go to Hawaii, and all of a sudden I'm getting this want to back out, and I'm going back and forth. And in my mind, do I want to go? Do I not want to go? Just this whole big old thing. And God told me, he said, you just need to make up your mind. Either you want to go, or you don't want to go. Like, you're doing too much. And I was overthinking it, but I was finna talk myself out of it, right? This is one of my dream vacations. And I just went on my dream vacation. This was my dream vacation, and I was finna back out of it. And I had to make a decision. And I kept thinking, why is this? And somebody said to me, I believe I did it, but I felt like a breakthrough. And you may say, well, how would you get a breakthrough? When I bought them tickets, I was so excited because at that point I knew I was going. And I called somebody, I was like, man, I'm excited. And it was like, I said, you don't even understand. I said, because I was in warfare trying to buy the tickets. I said, but now that I bought the tickets, I felt like breakthrough has happened in my life. And come to find out, all that had to do with me really embracing my worth, my self-worth. Because as a kid growing up, I always felt like I wasn't worthy of stuff, or people made me feel like I wasn't worthy of certain stuff. So even though I'm an adult and I'm saved, that thing was still there, because what God does is he doesn't deal with everything all at once, you guys. What he does is things that come up and he deal with it. So that came up. And what it was is that because people have made me feel like I wasn't worthy of certain things, in my subconscious, that's how I still operated. So I will back out of stuff. So let's go back to going to the store and having anxious feeling. It was because of that. So it was okay to do for other people, but when it came to me, I wasn't worthy of it. I never spoke it out of my mouth, but somewhere in my subconscious and in the residue of the things I grew up in, the things that happened to me, it was still there. And at that moment, this trip that I just went on this year, God was dealing with it. And that's why I felt like a breakthrough had happened. A breakthrough happened. Oh my goodness, y'all. Y'all just don't know. That's exciting. So number 3, I said, make goals of where you want to be, where you want to go. So now we not on surviving no more. We living, we thriving, we enjoying life. Now we need some goals. Where do you want to be? Where is God taking you? because he's giving you life. Where are you on your way to? What does life look like to you? What does it look like to live, Maya? What does it look like to live, y'all? What does that look like to you? Because my living may not be how it looks to you. My living, what it looks like to me to be living, may not how it looks to you. So what does that look like to you? Oh my goodness. See, now you get to thinking, because I'm not just surviving. I'm not just making choices based on short-term relief. I am really thinking about my life. Now I get to slow down and think about my life. Because when you're in survival mode, you ain't slowing down. You just going. But when now you get to enjoy life, you taking your time. You paying attention to the things you like, to the things you don't like, where you like to go, where you don't like to go, your favorite food, now you see, now you living in the moment. Now you get to live in the moment. And number 4, invest in your growth. What are things that you can do to invest in your growth? Sometimes we invest in other people, but we don't invest in ourselves. I always tell people when they start in their business, I said, you need to be the first person to sow a seed into your business. Stop waiting for other people to sow into it. You sow into it. So are you sowing seed into your life? Are you investing in yourself? Are you investing in yourself? Are you investing in classes that help you grow? Are you investing in material and books that help you grow? Are you investing in seminars? Are you investing in this? Are you investing in that? How are you investing in yourself? If you know your emotions is all over the place, go get you a book that deals with that, a biblical book that deals with that. That's an investment in yourself. Why? Because I'm about to get this under control. There's investments you have to make in your growth. You don't just grow. Investment, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's sacrifices. You need to invest in yourself. Stop waiting for people to invest in you. Invest in yourself. Where are you going? What does the life look like that you want? And begin to invest in yourself to get there, whatever it may take. Number 5, you may have to get you a life coach. Let me back up, because you know Coach Sammy, a life coach. You may have to give you a life coach. And I know a lot of times people don't see that as an investment, but that is. That is an investment. To get you a life coach to help you along the journey, that's an investment. And that's an investment in yourself. Because the things I always tell people that I said, one thing about knowledge, nobody can take it away from you. They can take the position, they can fire you from the job, they can do all that stuff, but the knowledge and the knowledge you got, they can't take that. They can't take that. Number 5, go beyond your comfort zone. You have to face your discomfort and push past your fears. When you're going from survival mode to living, to enjoying life, you got to go beyond your comfort zone. You got to go beyond it. You got to face the discomfort. You got to push past your fears. For we know the Bible said God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So when you are going forth in the things of God and now you're living, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Majority of the time, God is not going to bring your blessing to your comfort zone. You have to get out. You have to get out the boat like Peter. You have to get out. So you're going to have to come out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to go beyond your comfort zone. See, that's when being stretched and growth happens. Growth happens beyond your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone, you won't grow. Growth happens beyond your comfort zone. Why? Because you need to be challenged and you need to be stretched. And that's how you grow. Oh my goodness. And you got to push past your fears. You got to push past what if it don't work? And all the time, I truly believe sometimes our first thoughts are negative. Instead of saying, well, it's going to work, I'm trusting God, it's going to work, blah, blah, blah. We say, what if it don't work? And I always tell people, well, what if it do work? You're so focused on it that it's not going to work that you will sabotage yourself. You will sabotage yourself because in your mind, it ain't going to work. Instead of setting out, it's going to work. I'm going from surviving to living to thriving. It's going to work. Why? Because now I'm not walking by myself. I'm walking with God. He's leading me. He's guiding me. I'm following him. So if that's what I'm doing, it has to work. If I'm out here on my own, then yeah, it's a chance it won't. But if I'm following God, it has to work. So if God is calling me out of my comfort zone, he's saying, daughter, he's saying, son, I need you to come out to the deep. That means in the deep is where he has what he has for me. But not only is what he has for me in the deep, He's not going to let me drown. God will never call you out to the deep and leave you there to die. If he calls you out to the deep, that means he's giving you everything you need to sustain yourself in the deep. And not only have he given you everything you need, you guys, to sustain yourself in the deep, guess what? God is out there in the deep with you. He said he'll never leave you or forsake you. So he didn't call you out to the deep and then disappear. He's out there, just like Peter with the boat. Peter got out the boat and was walking to Jesus. Jesus was out there on the water too. But Peter began to panic and took his eyes off of Jesus, and he began to sink. You see that? But I remember one time God dealt with me. He said, well, at least Peter got out the boat. There were other people in that boat that didn't get out. Ah, that's a word for somebody. You may have to be the one to get out the boat. Sometimes we wait for somebody else to do it. We wait for somebody else to move first before we make a move. Peter didn't do that. Peter got out the boat. I didn't hear nobody else in that boat say, can I come with him too? No, he asked the question and he went alone. So that's a word for somebody. Stop waiting for people to go with you before you go at it yourself. If you know God has called you to it, then you need to go and go forth in what he's called you to do. Stop looking around to see who's going to go with you. Stop looking around to see who's going to co-sign on what God has told you to do. You get out and you go do what God has told you to do. You need to go past your comfort zone. What he got for you, what he has for you is beyond your comfort zone. And if you want it, you're going to have to press past fear and get it. So I just wanted to encourage you guys on today. I pray this word blessed you on this Fearless Friday. Like I said, when you watch this video and you like my content, go and like the like button. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel and then like the like button. But I just thank you guys and share this with other people. Share this with other people. Say, hey, it's this woman named Coach Sammy Love. Y'all need to tune into her channel because she got some good nuggets for y'all. So y'all go ahead and share that with some folks. And also, you guys, I will be going live tomorrow because it's the 4th Saturday. I said it earlier in the video. It is my What's the Coffee Saturday, Morning Moments with God, where I'll be walking through the book of Psalms. So I'm excited. Set your alert so you don't miss that. So I can bless your heart early in the morning. So I just thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for sharing. I thank you guys for subscribing. I thank you guys for liking. Trust and believe. I appreciate you guys. So have an amazing Friday, an amazing weekend, and be blessed.